So it has a brew. Standard 500ml tea situation. It's currently a Sunday, because it's probably the only time I can actually film this shit. I also have Milky Way chocolate spread sandwich. £1.50 in Sainsbury's at the moment. It's just mother trucking section. It's just so good. Some people were saying that they thought it might taste disgusting. I thought it might taste disgusting, but actually, it's just probably the best chocolate spread you can possibly buy. It's just orgasmic, really. So there was only really a couple of things I wanted to talk about in brew time, because most of the stuff I'm going to cover is going to be in beer time, because it's going to be me kind of just ranting about Content ID. Well, I'm not ranting about Content ID, because I'm not going to do it like everybody else has done it and just gone, oh, motherfucking YouTube and all this other bullshit. I'm going to do it in a kind of in a good way, I think, in a way that's actually, it's actually quite, quite good. But anyway, so look out for, well, no, I was going to look out for that. That's going to be before this. So yeah, you will already receive beer time before brew time, brew time will be released on the Tuesday, and beer time will be released on the Monday. By the time I get it rendered, uploaded, and everything else. So one thing I have done though is I managed to get my IP4 Eco set up, so that's all going well. I do seem to be having a lot of dropouts, but that could be because of my shitty home plug adapters. It could be that. I'm hoping it's that, as opposed to it being the IP file box, but I'm going to investigate that further down the line. But yeah, it's a really, really sweet box. I'm going to do a review and like a first impressions of it. I don't know when, maybe next weekend, I guess. And I'm also going to do a review of the Razer something or others. I can't even remember what the hell they're called. Headphones, pieces of shit, but I'm going to do a review of them. But anyway, actual news, really the only two things I wanted to cover was PlayStation 4 sales and the SteamOS being released. So, PlayStation, I've actually played with the PlayStation 4 and it's fucking amazing. I played Resident Evil and something else which I can not remember. Rice, I don't know, something. It had like a load of, well, my sister has deemed it as smashy flowers. They're actually like diamond things. I'm just trying to think what the game was. I can't even remember. But yeah, so I've played the PlayStation 4. The controller's amazing. The actual system's amazing. It's £100 cheaper. And I just don't see why you would actually go with an Xbox One as it currently stands. Before I actually played with the PlayStation 4, I was very set on getting it. If I was going to get an next-gen console, I was going to go and get an Xbox One, because for me, for the fact that I do a lot of entertainment stuff, and for me, I want an all-in-one system that can do lots of stuff. The Xbox One looked like the best bet. But with the amount of PR bullshit that went with it, and the uncertainty, and then Microsoft just being very, very anti-consumer, does kind of not help their case. Also, the fact there's kind of seems to be a lot of problems with it. I mean, I know there was a lot of problems with PlayStation 4, the first release of stuff. I think that might change further down the line. There's been a lot of problems with, I think, CPU overheats, and maybe some PSU problems as well. But yeah, I certainly wouldn't be getting an Xbox One now because of, basically because it's the inferior console as it currently stands today. And so with that, the PlayStation 4 is sold a darn something more units than the Xbox One. I said darn something more, it's not that much more. I think it's something like 150,000 more than the Xbox. No, it might be a little bit more than that, even 200,000 more than the Xbox. But considering they're kind of low numbers really in terms of, I mean, they're both only sold something like about 1 million, 2 million units, so it's not huge amounts of units that have been sold. But it's kind of interesting to see what the market's doing, see what gamers are doing. I think you're still going to have the Xbox fanboys are still going to go with the Xbox, and a lot of PlayStation 4 fanboys are going to go with PlayStation, but a lot of people have been on the fence about it and waited for it to come out and just kind of bought it based on whatever. Basically, mostly based upon what their friends play, because I'm going to, I'm going to say this off the bat, and I know a lot of PC gamers are not going to be happy with me saying this, but I think it's true. The best platform you can play on is the platform that all your friends play on, the platform that you prefer to play on. For me, it's PC, because all the people I play with are on PC. Of course, there's some people I play with on Xbox. I've got an Xbox, and I would get a PlayStation 4 because a lot of the people, especially IRL people, play PlayStation 4.
But it's an extra expense. It's an extra 400 quid for the console. I mean, I've got a nice projector. I mean, 100-inch, well, not 100-inch projector, but the projector projects a 100-inch screen on my wall. It's only 720p, but it doesn't really matter on a projected image. I've played Call of Duty on it, and it's kind of a little bit ridiculous. I always find playing Call of Duty on a 100-inch screen is just, wow, I can't keep my eyes on everything all at once, like how many rounds I've got and the map and everything else. Having said that, though, it does look fucking amazing, and that's why I quite like the idea of having a gaming bar with a projector. Would be quite cool as a business venture, but it's having the money to do that, and I'm sure I could probably get a business plan together. But anyway, so yeah, the PlayStation 4 sold a lot more units than the Xbox One, which is, I don't think, really hardly surprising, to be honest. And then moving on to SteamOS, which has been is come out as kind of like a pre-release beta. It's not official. Well, it is in beta, and but unfortunately at the moment it only supports, the driver support NVIDIA graphics cards. You can use Intel or AMD CPUs, just not AMD graphics cards, and not Intel graphics cards either. So onboard Intel chips you can't use, which is a bit annoying. But I guess you can. It's beta software. I've heard that a lot of the machines have been sent out, which unfortunately I didn't get one. I don't know whether or not they're going to release any more. Have been, say, like NVIDIA Titans and GTX 790, something like that. Quite high-end graphics cards, so the test units have been sent out. So that's quite cool. I think it will be really interesting to see how SteamOS goes, because it's going to move a lot of the console gamers to the PC gamer market. I'm going to put it in inverted commas there, because although it's going to be a PC, essentially, I mean, they all are PCs technically, it's going to be running a PC OS, kind of, but it's going to be in a console form factor. It's going to be played like a console. But obviously that means that a lot of console gamers are going to be able to get the actual PC exclusives that we have. Now, whether or not you can play that on a big, like a 50-inch TV with a controller, might be a little bit difficult. Things like Civ 5, for instance, probably not going to be able to play on a huge screen with, well, on a huge screen. That's not necessarily the issue. It's playing with a controller. Obviously, things like, I mean, you can do it already with a lot of the games. I mean, with Steam's big screen. I've certainly played with Steam's big screen. I've played. Just trying to think what I have played now. Things like GTA. I played through a big screen. Portal, you can play with a controller easily. I'm just trying to think of any other games. Well, every driver game pretty much ever, you play with a controller. You could play Euro Truck Simulator 2 with a controller if you really wanted to, although the majority of people don't generally do that. You could play, I'm just trying to think of all the games you could actually play with a controller. Well, any Need for Speed game, obviously, I'm not too sure which ones are actually in Steam, though. I'm just trying to think of any that I've got owned in Steam. I don't think so. Things like Racing Simulator. There's quite a few simulator games that you can play through that. So you can already do it. If you've got a decent PC, or even like a half reasonable PC, you can actually do it through a standard PC anyway. But having already seen a lot of my friends and console gamers that have kind of got PCs, they are moving to Steam. The amount of people that have got, Xbox people that I've played with, that then added me on Steam, because they've got Steam and because the sales are ridiculous. And you might not be able to run things well, but things like Limbo you could play quite easily on, well, pretty much any machine really. Especially Core i3 with the integrated graphics on that. You could easily play things like Limbo, and there's lots of like indie games you could play without much of a problem. Minecraft not so much. Minecraft does seem to be a bit of a resource hog. I don't quite know why. If I try and play Minecraft on my... Well, actually, if I try and play Minecraft on my Vio using the dedicated graphics it's got built, it crashes. For no apparent reason, all the time. But if I use the integrated one, which is shit, I get like 15 frames a second, and it's pretty much unplayable. But no, it will be interesting to see how the market goes, where it moves towards, because, I think it will be interesting to see in like a year's time when the Steam boxes are out, and Steam Box is out, not out, you idiot. When it's out and when SteamOS is out, it'll be interesting to see how things progress. I don't think it's going to be the most popular device. I don't think it's going to be one of those things that's then going to overtake Xbox. I mean, obviously Steam's overtaking the Xbox Live in terms of the amount of users, but I don't see that Xbox and PlayStation are going to go away, or they're going to reduce in size, because they've got that massive market share. They're not going to lose that market share anytime soon. What will be interesting though is to see the types of people that will be buying the Steam OS or Steam boxes. I mean, is it going to be the likes of me that are going to be wanting something for the living room that's going to be, has all my Steam games on it, pay a little bit less price for a PC dedicated for that use? Or is it going to be the console gamers that just want a box that they can just use, and it's going to be PC gaming for idiots? Which is I'll put the link in the description below of a picture that said that, which is very true. I mean, the Steam box is PC gaming for idiots, but if that's going to make PC gaming better and it's going to increase the community, then I'm all for that. So, but yes, that's pretty much all I've got to say on the matter. Yes, I have had a buzz cut, and yes, I have styled my hair a little bit because I felt like it. Basically, I thought I'd try something new, see if it's any good. I quite like it. So, another thing, the t-shirt I'm wearing, Swifted Co. Go and check those guys out because they make some really, really sweet stuff. I'm not sponsored by them in any way, by the way, or as much as I would, again, like to be. There's a few clothing brands I'd love to be sponsored by, but go and check their shit out. Really, really good stuff. I'll put the link in the description below. And that's pretty much it. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. I'm currently at 600 subscribers, which is really, really good. But apart from that, I shall catch you in a later video.